certification, and it still took them exactly 3 years to become a buyer, but we found employees were suddenly a lot happier because there was that ongoing sense of perceived progress. And it cost the company nothing to implement that. Another framework is Maslow's hierarchy. There's a great book called Peak, P-A-K, by Chip Conley. And he actually takes these Maslow's and condenses it down to 3 levels and applies it to customers, employees, and investors. So for example, the 3 levels in terms of how employees think of their work are, do they think of their work as a job, career, or calling? And our whole goal is to move employees up that pyramid, and we still want them to be Zappos employees 10 years from now. And the only way that anyone's going to be an employee for that long is if they feel like they're continuing to grow both personally and professionally. So that's why we invest so much in the training and mentorship of our employees. And then finally, I wanted to share the 3 types of happiness: pleasure, engagement, and meaning. The first type I like to call the rock star type of happiness because it's all about chasing the next high. As it turns out, it's great if you can sustain it. The problem is it's really hard to sustain unless you're basically a rock star. And what the research has shown is that as soon as the source of stimuli goes away that's giving you that high, as soon as that goes away, your happiness level just plummets instantly and goes back to wherever it was before. So out of these 3 types, it's actually the shortest lasting type of happiness. The second type is called flow, and there's a book by the same name, and we've all experienced this. It's about those moments in time when you're so into whatever you're doing. For some people, it might be painting. For other people, it might be running. That time just flies. 3 hours pass, and it seems like it's only been 20 minutes. Other characteristics associated with it are you lose a sense of self-consciousness or even self, and professional athletes refer to it as being in the zone. And kind of the strategy there is notice when it happens, because it happens to all of us, just different things trigger it. And then think about maybe you should change your job or your environment or who you hang out with or where you live to have those occurrences of flow happen more frequently. And out of these 3 types, it's actually the second longest lasting type of happiness. And the last type is about being part of something bigger than yourself that has meanings to you. So for some people, that might mean volunteering for their favorite charity, for example. And out of these 3 types, it's actually the longest lasting type of happiness. And what I find interesting is most people go through life chasing after the first type, thinking if once I could sustain that, which as it turns out is next to impossible, then I'll worry about the second type, and then if I ever get around to it, I'll think about the third type one day. Whereas the proper strategy based on this research data is actually you should figure out the third type of happiness first, and then layer on top of that the second type. And anytime you experience the first, that's just kind of icing on the cake. So these are some books that I would recommend. Anyone that wants a copy of this presentation, just send me an email, tony@deliveringhappiness.com. Oh, also that culture book that I talked about earlier, it's a physical book, so you need your physical mailing address. We also have a website set up for tours. You can just go to tours.zappos.com next time you're coming to Vegas and come for a tour. It's pretty fun. So just want to end with, the title of my book is Delivering Happiness. The subtitle is A Path to Profits, Passion, and Purpose. And the reason why I chose that to be the subtitle is because the research has shown you actually need all 3 of those to build a long-term, sustainable, growing business. And I think too many companies focus on just the profits part of it. They either forget about or ignore or don't care about the passion and purpose part of it, and that actually ends up hurting their ability to generate more profits in the long term. And kind of my weird aha moment was when I was reading up on the whole science of happiness research, was that happiness is really about being able to combine pleasure, passion, and purpose. And so for me, that was almost kind of the sign to what kind of nudged me to actually write the book and think, okay, maybe this is the right time to really spread this whole idea of happiness as a business model to other companies and organizations and industries beyond just Zappos. So just want to leave you with thinking about what percent of your time do you want to spend reading up on the science of happiness. How can that help yourself individually and also help your business and your brand? And if the research shows that companies with a higher purpose actually generate more profits in the long term, and if the research shows that individuals with a higher purpose are actually happier, think about what is your company's higher purpose and what is your own higher purpose. And if through this presentation you've been inspired to either focus more on customer service and the customer experience to make customers happier, or you've been inspired to focus more on company culture to make employees happier, or you've been inspired just to read up a little bit on this whole science of happiness feel just to make yourself individually happier. If any of those things have happened, then I'll have done my part in helping us achieve our own higher purpose, which is all about delivering happiness to the world. Thank you very much.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you very much, Tony. That was an amazing presentation. And you said that the study of happiness what came around 1998, is that right? So I don't know if it's any coincidence, but cloud computing services really started taking off in about 99 and 2000. So I don't know if that ties in at all. But really exciting stuff. I'm actually a major I'm probably like a top 10 customer. I don't know if I'm on any leaderboard, but that's where we get these shoes. And you've actually saved my life a couple of times. I tend to run out of laundry, so I'll order boxers on the website. And then because of your overnighting, they get to me pretty quickly. So Zappos is really incredible, obviously changing how we think about customer service. And at Box, our vision, again, is to make our customers as successful as possible with the product and with the platform. And so we really encourage you to give us that feedback around what we can do better as a company and how we can continue to improve the service, how we can continue to improve the quality of our relationship and the quality of the technology. So we really, really welcome all of that feedback. My email is just aaron@box.net if you do have any of that feedback. And otherwise, please feel free to contact any representative or any contact that you have at Box. So really, really appreciate everyone's attendance. This is our first customer conference. We think it's been an amazing time. We hope everybody has had a great time. It's not over, obviously. We have a really exciting after party. We couldn't get, unfortunately, we couldn't get Notorious B.I.G., even though he's been an apparent theme of the event. But Third Eye Blind is really, really awesome. And again, the best part of obviously building a Box is really getting the feedback from you guys. Being the early adopters of the platform and of the service, we really, really require and need your feedback on what we can be doing. We're super excited that you guys have been so visionary to be able to implement the service and move to the cloud. So thank you so much, and we're doing our best to build a smarter enterprise. So thanks, guys. See you. Sorry.